Hey Mama, welcome to the podcast. This is our Tuesday episode. So on Tuesdays, I'm doing more motherhood focused episodes, and on Fridays are still my pregnancy episodes to help those pregnant mamas to find more positivity in pregnancy. But right now on my Tuesday episodes, I'm doing a little series about healthy eating and weight loss because after babies often comes weight. We gain weight during that pregnancy, and a lot of times it can be desirable to get rid of that weight, to get back down to pre-pregnancy weight, and just to be healthier overall. And so that has been my goal. I am mostly back down to where I want to be 8 months after having my baby, and it is through years of mindset work and shifting and figuring out tools to help me to eat healthier. And that is what I'm going to share. So let's jump into today's episode and learn about all or nothing mentality. Hi, I'm Joslyn, host of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life. And I can help you. Thanks for joining. I am excited to share with you some tips that helped me and have helped me and do help me in my healthy eating journey. So last week I kind of talked about where I'm at with weight loss and goals for healthy eating for this year, and I'm glad to say that things are going pretty good, but we are only a week in. Usually at the beginning of a year I kind of feel gung-ho motivated and do good, and then as time goes on sometimes I slip a little bit. But this year I'm pretty committed at least to those two things I talked about: sugar sweet treats only once a week, and then whole wheat, incorporating more whole wheat. So if that interests you to learn about those, I encourage you to go check out that episode. I will admit that I did have more than one sweet treat on that Sunday. We still had some really good stuff that neighbors had brought us that I wanted to try, but I kept it to that day, and I feel pretty good about how I did. So it wasn't perfect, but we are making progress, and that's the goal, is to just do progress. And in fact, today's episode is going to talk about progress. I want you to think about a road trip. This analogy has been so powerful for me in losing weight. Sometimes we have a lot of weight to lose. I've lost 40 pounds after having babies, and that is a long haul. So I want you to think about a road trip. So I live in Idaho, so I love the state of Idaho. We're going to start in Idaho, but let's pretend we want to make a road trip to Florida. We cannot make that road trip on one tank of gas. In weight loss, you likely cannot make it from your start to your end goal in one fell swoop without any mistakes, without any stoppings or anything that goes wrong. It is not like that. Same with a road trip. You have to you have to take pit stops. You have to pull off the highway and get gas in order to keep going. Or sometimes you just have to pull off for other reasons because you need to go to the bathroom or what have you. Now, it may not be a perfect analogy, and you can argue with me about that, but nonetheless, the thought process of this really has helped me. I used to have thoughts that if I can't go all in and eat all healthy, then it's no use in trying. But there is middle ground. It's not all or nothing. That highway is not a straight all one way you can't get off and stop. The highway has lots of stops in it. And so will your weight loss journey. There will be times where you will mess up. There will be times that you don't want to do it, and maybe you choose not to do it. There will be times when you just need a break and you need a pit stop and you need a little stop to help you get going again. I have always used pit stops in my weight loss. I can't say I have ever been perfect in eating healthy. I always mess up or I don't follow the rules exactly. But that's where you realize you just get right back on the highway. You mess up, you eat a cookie in the afternoon. Instead of beating yourself up and thinking, wow, I'm never going to get to Florida, you just get right back in the car and you keep driving. Same with healthy eating. You get right back on your plan or your desires or your goals and you keep going with it. I used to beat myself up so bad when I'd mess up and think, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I'm so awful. This is so hard. And I had a lot of that all or nothing mentality. And I've had to do a lot of thought work to realize that there is middle ground. And maybe if you're like me, you have to also find some middle ground to help you realize that it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can take these pit stops and still progress forward in your goals. So realizing that there are going to be a lot of times where you're not perfect, where you mess up, where things just don't go quite as planned and you ate something that you didn't want to eat or something that wasn't on your plan, just get back on the highway. And that thought process has been so powerful in helping me to move forward. I used to just be like, oh, I messed up. Well, sucks to be me. I can't do it again. I just can't do this. I'm a bad human. I'm a bad person. I mean, I never said those out loud, but when I slowed it down and thought about it, those were a lot of the thoughts that I had, is that just because I messed up once, I was done for, that I couldn't do it. A lot of people say with weight loss that they fell off the wagon. I used to think that too, that I fell off the wagon and how hard it was to get back on the wagon, especially as it seemed like the wagon was just leaving me behind in the dust. But it's not a wagon. It's more of a highway. And as you think of it more as a highway, as you have those times you mess up, and as you just choose to get right back on, you can get to Florida. You can get to your 40, 30, 60 pound weight loss goal by just getting back on the highway instead of thinking, wow, I messed up, I can't do this, and then making it even harder. So this is one of the first mental shifts that helped me to realize I can keep going even if I'm not perfect. I can keep trying at eating healthy, at drinking water, at getting rid of processed foods, at stopping eating after 7. I can make progress. Now, there are some times where I would eat after 7. There are some times I wouldn't get my full half gallon in. There are some times when I just really, really wanted a sweet treat, and so I ate it. And I didn't make it mean that I had lost in my weight loss goals. I just kept getting back on the highway and kept trucking, kept progressing towards my goal of weight loss. Trekking, in essence, or as the simile is compared to Florida. Kept trekking on my goal towards Florida. I actually wrote a poem about all or nothing mentality, and I want to share it with you because it can keep you stuck, and it has kept me stuck. And here's the little poem. All or nothing mentality can destroy your reality. You think if you are not all in, that you can never win. It's a poison that keeps you stuck. You begin to think that you suck. But don't fall for this mentality. Choose to create a new reality. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. It's always better to just do something. Even if it's small, it doesn't have to be your all. Celebrate all your wins. This is where your progress begins. You can create a new reality by getting rid of all or nothing mentality. And so that is my encouragement for you today. Do your best to get rid of all or nothing mentality. Find some middle ground. Realize that in this journey, it's a long haul. It takes a long time to get from Idaho to Florida. It takes a long time to lose weight. But as you just keep reminding yourself that you can just keep getting back on this highway time and time again, even when you mess up, even when you fail, even when things don't go as planned, you will find that you have more confidence in it and also more successes. You can do this, Mama. I am cheering for you. If I can do it, me who loves baked goods and sweet treats, anything home-baked like cinnamon rolls and cookies, if I can do this, you can do it too. We're in it together, trying to better ourselves and to become the mothers that we desire to be. Sometimes that can come through losing weight. Next week, we will talk about celebrating small victories, another profound mental mindset shift that has helped me in losing weight. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the Positive in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts for a better you in a positive pregnancy, in losing that stubborn baby weight, and becoming the mom you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. I can help you find the small, doable steps without drastic changes to your everyday mom life. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward. My name is Joslyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.